Good evening. We had the great privilege this evening of paying a special tribute to the few veterans we have left of the Great Patriotic War. And particularly since it's the 70th anniversary of the Battle of Stalingrad, now Volgograd, where over 1.5 million people died in a single battle. 700,000, plus or minus, civilians died in that battle. In that fateful battle, the Third Reich was ultimately defeated. It was only 1943. But the Battle of Stalingrad ensured that the Third Reich, that the Nazis would be defeated ultimately. In the sufferings of that battle, we have to remember, we had one veteran there this evening of Stalingrad who was only barely 16 when he was sent into the front lines in that battle. Hitler had thrown his troops into that battle, needing desperately to win it, of course, but not caring and not sparing his own troops, his own ordinary foot soldiers, young men who didn't want to be there, who wanted to be at home. Stalin threw a bunch of young recruits, not even recruits yet, untrained, hardly knowing how to load and fire their guns or rifles, whichever they were given. Women, some very young women, flew fighter jets on the Russian side. There were 15, 16-year-old soldiers in the Russian army. And Stalin insisted on throwing them into that battle because it was so critical. Of course, neither Stalin nor Hitler cared for any of the people who were killed there. For them, it was two tyrants, two homicidal dictators fighting out between themselves. As usual, it was the ordinary people who bled and suffered and died, starved to death, died of thirst, died of disease. The Russians fought so valiantly against overwhelming odds. Of course, when you're defending your homeland, you have an advantage in how you fight. But when you think of all of the young people, babies and civilians, this city was reduced to rubble. Over 1.5 million people dead in a single battle. So we had the great honor to give, I think privilege, to give honor to the veterans who are still alive from that battle and from the whole Great Patriotic War. Just as we give honor to our Canadian soldiers who died in Europe, in the Pacific, in the Second World War. I'm glad we could do it while a few of those veterans were still alive, to hear our expressions of gratitude for their sacrifice. The videos that follow are from the concert and evening that we sponsored for them. The monastery essentially sponsored it. And we were so pleased and blessed to have been able to do it. The videos are not good quality, but please watch them and remember together with us, as I think I told the veterans this evening, the history that they made possible the present that we enjoy and the future of for our grandchildren, our children and grandchildren. Any Russian veterans especially anyone who survived Stalingrad, who might see this video, I want to add what I said there too. We salute you and we thank you, just as we salute and thank our own Canadian veterans who fought in that war. The Third Reich and the communist regime are gone. Some of our veterans are still here. Those of us who believe in and try to defend democracy and social democracy, we're still here. They're gone, and we're still here. They're gone, and the church is still there in Russia today. Thank you, and God bless you. Our dear veterans, the history that you made makes the present possible for us, and the future possible for our children.
История, которую мы с вами переживаем, она делает возможным для нас будущее и будущее для наших детей.
This evening we came to thank you and to salute you and all the men and women who died, who fought together with you and who died, not just at Stalingrad, but in the Great Patriotic War. We owe you a great debt, and we wanted to acknowledge that debt.
Мы сегодня здесь с единственной целью, чтобы сказать вам большое спасибо, чтобы приветствовать вас, салютовать вам, и не только тем людям, которые погибли в Сталинграде, но и во всей Великой Отечественной войне.
So, we say in Serbian, živeli.
Будьте здоровы, как говорится у нас по-сербски.
Good evening, and welcome to this celebration, or commemoration really, of the anniversary of the Battle of Stalingrad, now called Volgograd. But we wanted to commemorate this day because 1.5 million people died in this battle. Russians, who knows how many Germans really, and even a lot of very young Russians who were pressed into service in the military as raw recruits were sent by Stalin into this battle and sacrificed really to evil dictators trying to defeat each other, and didn't care who or how many were killed. But the Russian people responded because the native land was under attack, and the Russians always referred to the Second World War as the Great Patriotic War, and really made a huge sacrifice. And if it hadn't been for them, Hitler might have actually conquered all of Europe. So we owe a great deal of debt to the soldiers, men and women, young people, all who died. And we also remember the young German soldiers who didn't really want to be there either. But 1.5 million people to die in one battle is quite astonishing. So we want to commemorate this anniversary, and a few of the veterans are still left who were at that battle because so many really young people were pressed into the military, the service. So we want to make them feel that they're not forgotten, that we remember them and their sacrifice. And this is the row of veterans of this battle, of this terrible war and terrible battle. People who are still heroes and gave, at least offered their lives for the homeland and to defeat the evil of Hitler. We want to especially honor these people, these veterans, this evening. And the main purpose of this evening is really to honor our veterans and to honor those who fought in the Great Patriotic War, especially at the Battle of Stalingrad. That so few people did survive. It's astonishing to still have actual veterans here. The master of ceremonies will be our Elena Kutuzhevskaya, and she's one of the best organizers for this sort of an event that we have. and we're very grateful to her. The monastery has actually become something of a center for Russian culture and commemoration, and we're very pleased with that. I'm, of course, especially fond of Romanians, but we're very, very grateful that we can honor these veterans who have survived this terrible war, and to be a part of the continuation of Russian culture and memory in Canada. Here's a man who remembers the war firsthand, one of our honored veterans.
Я приветствую всех, кто пришел с нами поучаствовать в важном мероприятии, сочувствует нам и владыка, который зачинатели этого мероприятия. Наша организация ветеранов войны, я количество человек не буду указывать, но мы решили присоединиться к тому мероприятию, которое сегодня проводит церковь, монастырь и инициативная группа. И этот праздник, который мы каждый год проводим 23 февраля, мы решили сегодня провести, чтобы не дробить. Я всех вижу прекрасные.
Word from the Russian Consul General in Vancouver, greeting.
Герой жил, пока они помнят. Сколько бы лет ни прошло, мы всегда будем чтить бойцов Сталинградской битвы. Помните, что все поколения в неоплатном долгу перед великими победителями. Вы, дорогие ветераны, задали очень высочайшую планку. Показали пример преданности своему Отечеству. Наш долг помнить об этом и беречь мир, достигнутый в результате победы. Пользуясь этой датой, я бы хотел поблагодарить
our dear veterans. The history that you made makes the present possible for us and the future possible for our children.
История, которую мы с вами переживаем, она делает возможным для нас будущее и будущее для наших детей.
This evening we came to thank you and to salute you and all the men and women who died, who fought together with you and who died, not just at Stalingrad, but in the Great Patriotic War. We owe you a great debt, and we wanted to acknowledge that debt.
Мы сегодня здесь с единственной целью, чтобы сказать вам большое спасибо, чтобы приветствовать вас, салютовать вам. И не только тем людям, которые погибли в Сталинграде, но и во всей Великой Отечественной войне.
So we say in Serbian, živeli.
Будьте здоровы, как говорится по-сербски.